Hey y'all, what's up? It's me, TikToshh, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video because why wouldn't you? Hey guys, we're in a different setting right now. I wanted to get up and really maybe sit in my office or against my backdrop and make this video, but I literally have no energy right now. And yeah, one of my nails came off, but that's neither here nor there. I've been getting a lot. Well, to let you guys know why I don't have energy is because I get a shooting pain down my right side from the back all the way down to my ankle and my sciatic nerve, and I have to tilt myself and put pillows under me. So that is what's going on currently, my sciatic nerve. And honestly, you'll find out the rest throughout the video. I've been getting a few comments in regards to my disability. I even received a very harsh comment the other day, but the other comments are just generally people concerned and not so much concerned, but wanting to know what my disability is. Because I'll start off with the comment that I received the other day. A lady left a comment. I deleted the comment. I left it there and then I deleted it because I felt like, I was raised by a very strong woman who would never comment anything under anyone's post to bash someone, especially if they don't know what they're going through. And this is why I always stress, be kind for no reason. It did not offend me at all. At all did it offend me, because I'm one of those type of people, I can't be offended. I'm sorry. I just can't. I was tough as a kid. I'm tough as an adult. I'm just in my humble stages right now. So nothing that anyone could ever comment would offend me. So I just want to get that out there. But her comment said, being morbidly obese is not a disability. And that comment made me think, like, you just really don't know what other people are going through in their life. And I didn't get upset either, because obviously this person is going through something, seriously. To speak on one's disability without knowing the person personally or ever having a conversation with a person before you start to judge them. Okay, so I received a lot of comments that said, generally concerned about, if you don't mind me asking, what's your disability? And then some people are sending me messages like, I think you should walk and, it'll help with your mobility. All those things I appreciate, like from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate that, because we all need encouragement, not just from our families. Sometimes hearing it from other people, it sounds different in the ear. Well, for me, it does, hearing it from other people, because, sometimes you think like, okay, I hear my family, but it doesn't really register, and you don't pick it up, or you don't want to pick it up. Let's say that. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to tell you guys about my disability. But before we get into that, I want to thank you all for all of the support, the kind words, the opinions, the genuine concerns. Okay, so anyway, my disability is so many different things. Okay, there's so many different things that I couldn't even sit here if I wanted to and name every last one. But for the record, I have severe osteoarthritis. I have severe sciatica. I have no cartilage left in my knees. I suffer from migraine headaches. I also have had 7 babies. One being my firstborn, 7 pounds, 4 ounces. That was a walk in the park. My second was 8 pounds and 11 ounces. Walk in the park. third 9 pounds, fourth 9 pounds, fifth was 1 ounce away from 10 pounds, sixth was 10 pounds, where I had the entire hospital staff from every floor coming to see the lady who just delivered a 10-pound baby with no complications, pushed the baby right out. This may be TMI, but no stitches, like sitting up in the bed like nothing had ever happened. And they expected me to be, in shambles. And I didn't know having a 10-pound baby was such a big deal until I had a 10-pound baby. So anyway, after the 10-pounder, I had 2 babies 1 ounce away from 10 pounds. So let's just say I had 3 10-pound babies. To sum it all up, I carried every last one of those babies. This is a little off subject, but it also makes sense. My mother found it, always wanted, it was her childhood dream to have a dance team, a drill team, anything involving children, dancing, music. That was her thing. Well, we tried it once, it didn't work. My sister and I decided to try to make my mother's dream come true, and it was a success. My mother stood on a foundation of belief, and it came to pass. Although my sister didn't continue after 1 year of the drill team, I took the drill team to 20 years for my mother. And the drill team was a first place competition team. I taught all of the dance routines. I made up all of the rap songs, even rap song that got noticed by the state of California. And they paid for me to take these 2 young ladies into the studio and record the song that I had written, and taught the girls, taught the routines for the background dancers, everything. The state of California sponsored that. So I've been a cheerleader in my at least 6 years of my life. I was a cheerleader. I danced in talent shows when I was younger. I kept going all the way up until I had my 6th baby. I was pregnant with my 7th baby when I finally brought that drill team to a close. I had my 7th miracle baby. He was a miracle baby. He's in heaven now. May he rest peacefully. And let me show you guys him. He's upstairs with my husband right now. We brought him home. And yeah, let me see if I can show y'all him. This is him, guys. I want to show y'all this a little better. Hold on. This is my 7th baby, my miracle baby. This pillow is so real. Like, he is the cutest, a head full of hair. Oh my goodness, he's in heaven. And this is why my heart is forever broken. His name is Seven, Seven. His middle name is Million, Million. His name is very significant. He's the 7th child. 7 is significant in the Bible, and it also means the completion. And yes, this is baby 7 million. He is in heaven right now. He's been in heaven since 2022. With that being said, I sometimes can talk about it and I sometimes can't. I'm holding myself together for you guys. My baby had a stroke in my water bag the last 2 weeks before his birth. They don't know what caused the stroke or anything, but he had a blood clot that had been sitting on his brain for 2 weeks, and it damaged a big part of his brain. I didn't find out I was pregnant with 7 until I was 6 months pregnant, because I honestly thought I was just literally going through the depression of my mother passing away, who had passed away in January. I had 7 in September. So before she passed away, my mother has I always had the dream of every baby in our family. Whenever I was pregnant, my mother called it before I knew. She said 2 weeks before she passed away, she said, somebody's pregnant. I just had another dream about fish. And everybody turned and said, it's Tasha. I said, no, it's not, because this time I honestly thought she didn't get it right because she was going through, the changes before you get ready to pass away. So I honestly thought that, she was just saying that. Well, I was in her after she passed away. She passed away because I know I'll probably get this comment from Stevens Johnson disease, and you can look that up. What it was is Kaiser Hospital prescribed her a blood pressure pill called lisinopril, and they gave her too high of a dose. It burned her from the inside of her body to the outside of her body. And that is too in-depth to go in. But just know, my mother was my best friend and still is. I literally was with her every day, even having a husband and 6 children, because she wasn't born when the 7th came. I would still go every single day to be with my mother. We would ride around, go out to eat. We would do everything together, including the drill team that I was running. She would come there, but she was disabled. She could not get up and help or do anything. But after my mother passed, I became severely depressed. She had a house, a big, beautiful home, and it also had a carriage unit, also known as the in-law unit, attached. When my mother passed away, I went in her in-law unit, and I stayed in her in-law unit in her rocking chair. And my children were inside the home sleeping. My husband was still at my house. We were all going through it. But I wanted to be at my mother's house, so I brought the children over there with me. And then when I had to go somewhere, I would take them over there with my husband, but I was generally fighting to live. So I let myself go. I'm still not knowing I'm pregnant. I would just get up, take the kids to school, come right back, sit in her rocking chair, and just lay in a daze. I felt like I was laying there to pass away. And I'm just keeping it honestly real. I'm just keeping it real. One day I had the TV on. I was sitting in her rocking chair. The kids were next door. And I have mature children. I had a high schooler and all of that. So they were fine. So I felt a kick in my stomach, just like a baby kick. And I didn't think anything of it. I felt it again. And I said, oh, hell no. That was my exact words. I turned the TV down for whatever reason, like I was going to be able to hear something. And I felt the kick again. And I said, oh, my goodness. Went to the doctor. I was 6 months pregnant. Right before I was getting ready to deliver, like I said, 2 weeks, they found out that the baby had a blood clot on its brain. I had the whole team of doctors come in after I delivered him. Right after they had to do a C-section, I went full term. He was 1 ounce away from 10 pounds, a very big baby. The NICU hospital has said they are so happy that they have a baby that they can hold and carry around, but we weren't there yet. They couldn't hold and carry him just yet. After they pulled him out, I kept worrying about the baby. They kept telling me, you concentrate over here. We're going to take care of the baby. I didn't hear her cry. I didn't hear anything. And finally, they said, we're going to try one more time because we can only go up to 10. I don't know the exact verbiage for it. But if we can't get anything at 10, we're not allowed by law to go any further. I started to panic, but they had to tell me. They had to be truthful. And finally, I heard a cry. And I always have believed in God. My mother and my aunts taught me to believe in God. Like, for real, my mother and my aunt, although I went to church with my grandmother, both of my grandmothers, I was too young to really take it all in. But when I got older and I was able to take it in, I really started believing in God. But anyway, my baby came too, but because of the nature of how many times it took to try to get him to keep life, he had to go in the NICU at the hospital, and I could not hold him, touch him, anything, because they had to put him in under lamps and everything, and even see if he was going to be, able to live still. The hospital kicked me out. I know I'm going all over the place. I'll probably have to do a story time on this later, but I am going to tell you this part. At 5 days old, I still hadn't held my baby yet. I didn't go home, although I had to give up my hospital room because I was healthy, but the baby wasn't. But I was able to sit in a chair after just having a cesarean, can't never get that word right. My daughter, my oldest daughter, and she stayed by my side. My husband was home with the rest of the children. We were asleep. We woke up. I don't know if you guys ever seen Doogie Howser or any of the hospital shows where all the doctors from the hospital come in. I thought the worst at that moment. The first thing the doctor did was introduce himself and his team. There was over 30 doctors standing there and specialists. And he said, "How important is this baby to you guys?" To say something like that, I almost passed out. My daughter and I started pleading. I'm saying he's the exchange for my mother. He's very important. He's very important. We need him, I told them all of that. Then the doctor put his hands on mine. He said, "Your baby is the appropriate weight for us to operate on him, which is to remove that blood clot because he had passed all the tests to live. After going through the traumatic birth experience." He said, I cried. He said, "I will personally come out here and let you know how your baby did after surgery." It was the longest 2.5, I think 3 hours surgery. But I saw the doctor come. He said, "Your baby did amazing." I was able to hold my baby on the 5th day. My baby lived a great life. He had to have a VP shunt installed in his head. They thought he would not understand anything due to the amount of his brain that was removed. Guess what? He understood everything. He superseded everything. The only reason my baby passed away is because he outgrew his VP shunt, but every time they did the MRI, nothing showed that it needed to be changed. There was no changes in his behavior, his eating, nothing. There was no signs to indicate that my baby needed any medical attention. God called him home because he came, he served his purpose, and it was time for him to go. I can say that right now, although my heart is broken, but I always have to remember what I was taught. And I also have to remember to trust God, and that those are his children that he loans to us. He lends us those children. Okay, so back to my disability. I've also had 2 car accidents. I have spondylosis, something else. It's all in the spine, the back. I have several things going on with me. In the 2 car accidents that I had, one man ran in a work truck through an intersection. It wasn't his turn to go, and without notice, hit myself, my son, and my daughter. And that has just knocked me all the way off the chart. But I'll tell you, one day I was riding in the I was having back problems. We went to Walmart, and I sat in the electric scooter for the first time because I was healthy. Everything, I was doing good. And it felt so good to sit there, and I was holding my baby while I was riding around Walmart. And then I did it again and again and again. And I became dependent upon it. So if you want to know how I ended up in the scooter to this magnitude, that's how. And it was all built in with still fighting the depression of my mom. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I don't take anything for granted. My heart is broken. It will for always, forever, forever, forever be broken. And I live in a 3-story home. I'm on the lower level. This is me and my husband's area down here. I have my office next door and my bathroom. And I have a podcast area because I'm a comedian as well. And that's what I do. I do social media. But I'm a heartbroken mother. I'm disabled. Sometimes, I'm not always happy all the time. But it's literally only when I come in my room, I'm trying to find things to make me not go to this place so often. And I've gotten a lot better. I will say that. So don't be concerned. I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten a lot better. A lot better. But sometimes I go to this place and today is the day. And sometimes it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It makes me feel better. So a little bit later, I'll start to feel a lot better. But I'm just a little heartbroken. Yes, I trust God, but like when you have a child, you can't stop loving them. When you have a mother, you can't stop loving them. And so my heart is forever broken. I will say that. It's forever broken. But I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I wasn't always a humble person. I wasn't always a kind person. But life will teach you things and you'll understand why it is very important to be kind and be humble for no reason. And I'm not going to keep y'all here forever, but if you have any comments that you want to drop, I'm right here ready to receive them. And if you have any suggestions on how I know there's no real way to mourn, but like little tips and tricks that you use if you've ever been through such a thing. But that is the bare minimum of my disability, you guys. I want to walk. I want to dance again. I want to be able to walk through malls. I want to be able to do all of that on my 2 feet without being dependent. But it's okay. My baby had a disability. My baby was in a wheelchair. He never made it into a physical wheelchair, but his stroller was a medical stroller. He did not walk. He passed away when he was 6 years old. He'll be 9 years old this year, so it's almost 3 years, guys. And, well, it's not really almost 3 years because he was almost to his 7th birthday when he passed. But I don't even like to figure out the years. I just want to say how old he is. But, and he was alive and well and had more energy than anybody I ever known. And he had a glow to him. Even my aunt said this when I talked to her a couple of weeks ago. He had a glow to him when she saw him. And yeah, I believe that he was sent here from God to heal my family and give us some joy because my mother was the glue to our foundation. And it's hard. It was hard on my children, my husband, everybody. So thank y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all. I really, really appreciate the support. I'm so happy that YouTube pushed my video to a lot of you because this is all I really look forward to doing, truthfully, is I've been on stages all my life. And so my mother used to always say, it's something about you. It's something about you. It's something about you. You need to stop procrastinating and get on out there. And for those of you who don't know, I have over 1 million followers on TikTok. I have almost 25K on Instagram. So that also tells you that you become likable. And my comedy is on Instagram. And sometimes my comedy is a little over the top, but that's just my personality and who I am and who I like to turn into. So, but this is the new me right here. Like, I'm just humble, laid back, and I like to have fun. But I've always been a comedian. I've always been the one at the family functions to make everybody laugh. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And hope I didn't keep y'all too long. I love y'all. Bye.